Hey, what's up guys? Good morning. Welcome back to Field Trips. We are still in Texas, you guys. We're still in North Texas. I'm here with my little bro, Max Moore, from Max Moore Fishing on YouTube, and Scrappie Lures, some of the coolest handmade lures on the planet. And we got my good buddy here today, Matt Scotch. He has brought us out. You guys have seen him multiple times if you watch the show. We have done all kinds of fishing and some incredible fishing. And he has brought Max and I to a lake I have never fished in my life, Benbrook Lake in Benbrook, Texas, a little bit west of Fort Worth. I don't know anything about this lake. I don't know what we're gonna be getting into. I know that we're gonna be looking for some crappie, maybe enough to take home to eat. And then besides that, we're gonna be looking for some big bass. But I've always heard that this is a tough lake to fish, but it's springtime. It's kind of the best time. And so we're gonna get out here and see what we can do. Matt knows this lake well. I'm sure he's gonna have a day. Max and I are gonna see if we can't get it done on our own. But we're about to launch. Max and I are in the new Kick from Lightning Kayaks. We're both rocking this boat. Shorter, more affordable, maneuverable, still super stable. Loving this thing so far. It has been blowing like 30-mile-an-hour winds every single day here in North Texas, but not today. It's looking prime, it's looking right. So stump fishing seems to be the name of the game, judging by the plethora of stumps in front of us. So let's see what we get into. We'll talk a little bit more about what we're fishing with here in a bit, hopefully after we catch a fish or two. We'll see. Yeah. All right guys, like I said, stumps, the name of the game. They're everywhere here. And now not everyone's gonna hold a fish, but basically Matt's saying that both the crappie and the bass this time of year should probably be on stumps, and probably each stump's gonna kind of have one or the other on it. Probably not both, but basically any given stump I can kind of throw all around it with a variety of bass rigs, and then if that doesn't yield anything, I can bust out the crappie jig and just kind of fish it vertically right around the stump on all sides as well, and you know, hopefully pick up one of the other species off a good portion of these stumps. And right now it's a little windy this morning and the water's pretty stained, so I'm throwing a spinnerbait to start to see. I would love it if they were biting a spinnerbait today. It's just kind of an easy way to fish them. But if not, I got a jig tied on, I got a square bill. I got something to throw like a weightless worm and just let it sink down slowly along these stumps. So got some options tied on this morning. We'll see if we can get a bite on something, kind of figure out what they're feeling this morning. Of course, this was the one day in the last like 3 weeks that the wind, you know, the forecast said it was not gonna be windy, and I mean, it's windy anyways. So the weatherman maybe was just kind of trying to make us all feel better about it. The wind this spring has been just unprecedented. I don't remember the last time it was this windy for this many days in a row. It's been relentless. We'll see if we can't battle it out and catch some fish anyways. Can't control the conditions. What? Yeah, all right.
There's one. Nice little crappie. Come here, come here, come here. There we go. First blood. Not too far into the day. Just getting started out here.
All right, so Max got first blood with a crappie. Little guy, but it's a keeper. So I'm using a little jig head like this, little soft plastic, and then a float. Now, I'm using 2 floats because they're not quite buoyant enough to float this on their own, but we were basically fishing this pea gravel up super shallow. No stumps, so ignore what I said a minute ago. But, yeah, we're gonna do stumps here in a bit, but I'm not gonna be able to see a bite. I can't even see my cork. It's just sitting there.
I got a lighter jig.
I just put on a lighter jig head, but even with 2 floats, it's barely floating. And you said you're just slowly moving it, huh, Matt?
Yeah, throw it up there. Yeah, it's kind of twitching it.
Look at this.
I gotta get closer because I can't cast that far.
This thing's all tangled. I quit. I'm going home. Oh God. I'm telling you, dude, nothing's going right. Surprised I didn't just lose that rod the way this morning's going.
Yeah,
There we go. Okay. That worked out. I'm assuming it's a crappie. It's a pretty good one. I mean, it's a really light rod, but yeah. A little bit. Oh gosh, no. No. Don't you do it. Okay. See, I told you guys, this is going great. Textbook morning so far. Literally can't think of much that hasn't gone wrong yet. I haven't sank. I guess that's good. And there it is. All right, y'all. Well, there it is. Right where Matt said they would be. Up super shallow. These guys are spawning. They're up shallow. And they're spawning in this kind of pea gravel, just like bass would. Matt keeps saying that bass and crappie are really just similar species, and where one likes to spawn, the other likes to spawn, and there it is. Now, not a huge one, not a slab, as they say, but pretty good fish. I'll take that, for sure. Definitely eat. It's gonna be 10 inches here in Texas, and that guy's 10, so Max has got one, I've got one. Matt's had a couple bites. I've been kind of having a morning. Nothing's really going right for me, kayak-wise, this morning, but it's looking up a little better now, shaping up a little better. But that's definitely not gonna feed the fam, so we'll see if we can't get some more. But off to a good start. Just gonna stick them in my net for right now. Yeah, that was right on the bank. A few feet off. And I was just kind of slowly reeling it in, bringing it back to myself. And that helped. My float is not floating my jig very aggressively. It's barely floating. So my float's really tough to see. So I'm kind of slowly bringing it back to me, mostly just so that I can feel tension on the line. And I just felt that guy bite. I didn't even see the float go down because the float's barely up to begin with, but I was able to feel it. And yeah, one in the net. Max has got one in his net. We got the starts of a fish fry. We're definitely not done.
very beginning.
Yeah, the very beginning of a fish fry. Should've brought my stakeout pole. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Very next cast, in pretty much the exact same spot. So again, these fish they're up here spawning, so they're not gonna be alone. Man, pretty patterns on these guys. Is this black or white?
White crappie, but they're males. Males black on.
Have this black. I've heard that before. In Mississippi, the guy told us that it means he's got his tuxedo on. He's ready for the party.
Yeah, that's what
So look at that, 2 casts in a row. Again, my morning has been a little frustrating. I actually forgot that I broke my rudder on some rocks in the Colorado River with Jennifer and Eric Porter last episode. So I'm out here just kind of struggling. But hey, 2 casts in a row now, back to back. Finally got situated, finally got rigged up right. Finally started just casting about an hour into the day. And that's 2 fish back to back in like my first 3 casts with this little crappie jig. So that's a good sign. These are white crappie. Matt was saying that the males here, they get these really cool looking black patterns on them. And he said that's kind of them showing off for the females, just like a bird of paradise or something like that. But there we go. That'll definitely go 10. It's 2 in the net. Now we got kind of the first hints of dinner going. Although the way my morning's going, I'm probably gonna drop this net and they're all gonna get out. And I do have a stringer. I should probably just stop being lazy and put them on there, but they're biting, man, they're biting. Yeah, that slow retrieve is definitely getting it done. And it helps me feel the bite since I can't see my cord. So it's working out pretty good. Can he go 3 for 3? That's the question. I am a little, like they both hit it closer to the bank than that.
Yeah.
They're right up on it.
Yeah, the males are gonna be right up there.
All right, first 3 on the stringer. Got the makings of a fish fry. Just, you got it?
Yeah, I got it. They ain't going nowhere.
All right, so pretty cool. I mean, we're catching crappie in like 1 foot of water right off the bank. You could do this from the bank. You don't need a kayak to do that. When they're spawning in the springtime, you can catch these crappie up shallow, and you can tell secret's out. There's a bunch of people on the bank here fishing for them. But we're gonna make a move, go to a little bit different area, see if we can't find some more crappie and maybe a few big bass mixed in as well. All right, so obviously we have entered the stump fields of Benbrook Lake, and they're gonna basically, the crappie in here are gonna be holding tight to these stumps, Matt says, and so he also says don't spend too much time on any one stump. We're just kind of moving from stump to stump, and he said if they're there, they're gonna whack it. And you can either cast at it and kind of bring it past the stump, or kind of get stealthy, get up against one and drop it straight down and just sort of vertical jig it. But you gotta be real careful not to spook them off. But a lot of times you'll find a stump that's got them on there, and there's a bunch on there. So once we start getting bit, then we'll spend more time on those stumps where we're finding some success. Matt also said a lot of times you're finding the bigger crappie up in these stump fields as opposed to just out there in that kind of pea gravel that we were fishing to start. That's where kind of the smaller ones tend to be. Got him, got him. Right where he should have been. Oh, bigger one too. Now that's a good crappie. All right, guys, well, it's working. I mean, everything we've done so far today has been working, and this is a much better crappie, just like, oh gosh, I'm gonna lose my anchor here. All right, so like I was just saying, Matt said that up here in the stump fields, we're gonna get into bigger crappie, and I'm literally just using my paddle to hang on to this, and I've just kind of dipped my little jig on each stump that I can reach, and I dropped it right here at this forked one. Matt did say that a lot of times they like the ones with forks, just because it kind of gives them more stuff to hide in and among, you know. But look at that, bigger crappie. That's a good one. That's a big female, you can tell. She's got some eggs in her. Great, great fish right there. Man, she just choked it. Really simple rig, just a little jig, and that is a great eating size crappie. It's working, you guys. I've been kind of battling the wind. This morning I was getting a little frustrated. Nothing seemed to be going my way, but things are looking up. That's fish number 3 for Rob here, and by far the biggest of the day. I think God was just testing my patience a little bit this morning, and he succeeded, but now we're kind of rolling here. We'll see if we can't get some more. Keep working through these stumps. There's no shortage of stumps to fish. There's about 10,000 right here in this like 2-acre stretch. So I'm just gonna hit each one. I'm basically moving up and finding one that I can kind of grab onto or put my foot on, where I got several other stumps within reach, because I'm probably gonna spook the fish off the one that I'm kind of anchoring down with. But then these ones nearby, I mean, I made a bunch of commotion right here, and the fish bit right there right after. Didn't care. But probably this stump I didn't bother dropping at because I came in here banging around. That's my strategy right now. Find a good little clump of stumps, hit each one, and hopefully pull a fish like that off of every cluster. I wouldn't be mad about that. Let's keep going. Sweet. There's another one. The second it got down there, he hit it. I mean, there's no mistaking it. And this guy, this is pretty cool. I call this a racing stripe. There's other names for it, but that's something that happens more when they spawn. It's got this black pattern going down, right down the center of his back. Really weird. I don't know exactly why that happens, but yeah, that black stripe.
Yeah.
So this is a black crappie, and you know that because it's got that going on. So this is a different species than we've been catching. Just as tasty, and he'll definitely go 10 inches, although that's a male. It's not quite as big as that female. They taste the same. They'll taste delicious. And I don't know if y'all can hear that. The weatherman lied. It's windy. And the hardest part about this so far has been boat positioning. But I'm just hanging on to one log, and I dropped that down just right there at that other one. And the second it got down there, he just whacked it. I mean, no mistaking it. I think that's 5 we got so far. So the fish fry is coming together, and we're catching them, you know, several ways. Up shallow in the pea gravel, and then now in this kind of 5-foot stump field. Matt got some action up in a stump field that was about 1.5 feet deep. So the spawning fish are gonna be shallower. But I seem to be having more luck here where it's about 3.5 to 5.5 feet deep. Let's see if we can't pluck a few more out. Golly. Yeah, 6 mile an hour, they said. There you go. All right, Matt's on. Got a bass on. Off that shallow stump, just like you said. Nice. First bass of the day for old Matt Scotch here. There it is. Right where you said it'd be. Shallow stump. That was on the square belt? Yep. So we switched gears a little bit, came over to this just absolutely gorgeous area. It's all this like white limestone and green trees, it's just beautiful. We came over here to get out of the wind and see if we could do a little bass fishing. Switch gears a little bit. Nice. Nice. Called it. That's on the shaky head, huh? Yeah, I might have to do that. There you go. Matt Scotch, bass number 2. On the shaky head, he's getting them done.
Yes, sir. Not a bad bass.
Yeah, I'm still throwing that crankbait. I think I'm gonna switch that. Nice work, man. Off those sticks, huh? I just ran the crankbait by both of them, so I'm gonna swap.
Well, that's why, like, on a day like today, you just gotta slow down.
Yeah.
And that shaky head just catches them here this time.
Yeah. Makes sense. Nice, Max, the bass.
It's a decent fish.
There you go. Max more.
Like 2-pounder maybe. Swim jig.
I can't buy a bass bite, so I'm jealous.
He's got a giant hole in his lip. My thumb went through it.
Wow. On the swim jig. Nice work, Max.
Thank you. Spicy sucker. See you later, Bubba. I've worked too hard for that fish.
Yeah. Bass fishing's been a little bit of a grind today. My gosh, she hit it and I missed it, and then I just dropped it right back down. Dude, good fish. Good fish. Finally. Oh my gosh, the shallow wood, Matt Scotch. You told me that's where they'd be. You guys, dude, it's a stud fish. Crappie fishing was fun. It was windy, a pain. We got half a dozen, so we said, all right, let's switch gears. Let's go to a protected area where Matt said, basically, crappie, we can catch them there, but it's not really why you go there. You go there to do some bass fishing, and we have been doing some bass fishing for hours. Matt's got a couple, Max has got 1 or 2. I had nothing but a little dinky white bass. And I just cast this wacky Senko in this spot, right on this shallow wood, and I got a bite and I missed it, and I threw right back in there, and this girl just hammered it and started taking off with it. I know we hit that on the way down. We're on our way back now. And she just inhaled the Senko on the shaky head. I mean, not a life-changing bass, but today it feels very life-changing. Most certainly a day-changing bass. Yes! That feels good. Now, there are much bigger fish in this lake. Matt's caught some giants. He brought us here to this stretch because he said we could catch some giants. That's not a giant, but that's a good fish. And I feel just way better about my whole life and definitely about today. Gotten on some crappie. Now we're getting into some bass. It ain't over. See what else we can get into. Let's let this beautiful fish go. Man. That was sweet. Thank you, girl, for the second chance. She's probably gonna go down there and eat these crappie off my stringer. Bloop. Smooth as butter. Now I was on this shaky head, black and blue Senko. Simple rig. And the bait's so nice, she hit it twice. Sweet. Let's get some more. Let's do that again. That was fun. Yep. 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 Good one. Good one. Oh, same thing, same pattern, same bait, same everything. Dude, she's like hauling all over the place. No, I got a net, I got it. Good fish. Good fish.
Don't let her get around the tree.
Yeah. I don't see any trees here, but I don't know. Oh yeah, bigger for sure. I think I got it. Oh, dude. Bro, that's it. That's the fish. Look how fat it is, bro. Bro.
It's a 8 pound. I got it.
Are you joking?
I got a scale.
Are you guys joking me? Oh my god, dude. I was so excited about the last one. This thing could eat that one. Oh my gosh. You guys, giant bass. Giant bass, bro. I was excited about the last one. Yeah. That was a small bass. Yeah. I realize now, that was a small bass. Yeah. You guys, Matt Scotch here told me one thing all day, and I'm basically doing exactly what Matt told me to do all day, and it didn't pay off earlier, but just stuck with it, and it paid off now. Okay, she's 3.6 kg, which is times 2.2, but we don't have to do that right now. I'm gonna get back in the water. Just pulled out like a 3.5 pounder, was feeling good, reinvigorated, and followed it up about 5 minutes later with this beast that's gonna go about 7.5 pounds.
On the kick.
Yeah, on the new Lightning kick, on a lake I've never fished. Just listening to Matt here, just incredible. What a fish, what a fight. She was pulling me all over the place. Oh man, that feels good, you guys. It's been a grind, I've been grinding for a while with no results, stuck with it. And I mean, we're fishing stumps now that Matt and I just picked apart every stump on the way down. I had nothing to show for it. Now on our way back, don't give up. There she was. Go ahead and release this girl. And there she went. Whew! This That was awesome, man. God, dog, as soon as she hit, before I even saw her, I was like, oh, this is a big fish. That was incredible, man.
Good job, brother.
That was incredible. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go some more.
Yeah, man, they're biting now. Those are 2 minutes apart. You know, we just caught that other one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on 1 second, bro.
It's crazy how quick your whole day can turn around. Yeah, yeah.
Keep fishing.
Yeah, don't give up. I was kind of just going through the motions. Not anymore. I'm about to fish real hard. Oh man, that was awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know, this is like the perfect example of why fishing is awesome. I got a broken rudder. We spent all morning fighting the wind, catching crappie, which was fun. It was good. Then Matt said, let's go bass fishing, but it's a little bit of a hike. And I said, okay, cool. So we hiked in the wind. And then since then we've been kind of out of the wind, but we went a long way, like all the way down the lake. And I got no rudder, so I'm having to pedal and use my paddle. And we went all the way down there and I had 0 fish to show for it, fishing real hard. So now on the way back, I was kind of just going through the motions, feeling defeated, feeling like, you know, what a bust. I mean, even though we caught some crappie, what a bust. And then there, 5 minutes later, this is the best day of bass fishing in like the last 2 years for me. I don't remember the last time I caught an 8-pound bass. She went 7.89 pounds. Fishing is awesome. 5 minutes turned my whole day around, my whole year around, really, in terms of bass. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Persistence paid off. Huge thanks to Matt for coaching me through this fishery. And earlier I was kind of thinking he was full of it because I was doing all the things he was saying and nothing was happening, and now I'm still doing the things he's saying and things are happening. The bite just seems to be turning on as that sun gets a little lower in the sky. So I'm gonna quit yapping, having fun now. See if we can't yank a few more bass out of here. Everyone's got to shake your head on now. Woo! That was sick. This is serious work.
I know.
All right, guys. Well, what a fun day fishing with Matt Scotch out on Benbrook Lake.
8-pounder.
8-pound bass to end it. After that, we had to hightail it back. But fun day. It was kind of a grind in the wind, and nothing was going right in the morning, but ended up going pretty dang good.
Crappie, 8-pound bass.
Yeah.
Good day.
For the record, he's only taller than me right now because he's wearing cowboy boots. Thank you. Yeah. For those of you that follow the show, you have watched Max grow up these last few years, and now he's taller than me, and it's really, really aggravating. But anyways, now it's time to cook up these crappie and that white bass that we brought back. So we already cleaned them up. I'm not gonna show you how we're gonna fillet them, but the way we're gonna do this today, we've already, in past episodes, I have fried them in beer batter. I have fried them in kind of traditional Louisiana style fish fry. We're gonna fry them up again, because really that's the way to do crappie, but we're gonna do it a new way. Today we're gonna fry them in panko crumbs. These are kind of a Japanese breadcrumb. We're gonna show you how to do this. It's really easy. And since we're already making this kind of batter combo, I'm gonna go ahead and try for the first time to make some mozzarella sticks. Do you even like mozzarella sticks? I didn't ask you. Yeah. You get that high pitch, like.
Well, I don't eat them a lot, so, but yes, they're good if you do them right. So
they
might not be good.
Yeah, we'll see. 50-50.
It's just gonna be a lot of just everywhere.
No, we're gonna do it right. So the first step, before we can even talk about the fish, start getting into the fish, is we gotta prep these mozzarella sticks. We gotta basically batter them and then put them in the freezer for at least an hour. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done. I'll show you how we're gonna do it. All right, so we've got some plain panko breadcrumbs, but you don't wanna eat anything in just plain panko breadcrumbs. So we're gonna chop up a variety of herbs that we're gonna put into this. We got some thyme, basil, fresh oregano, and some flat leaf parsley. We're gonna get all these chopped up and we're gonna put these into the panko crumbs in this container. All right, got the herbs chopped up. Now to the panko crumbs, we're gonna add salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. And finally, we're gonna add some grated Parmesan cheese. Critical step. Even though we're frying cheese, we're gonna put cheese in the batter. Now give that a stir. Don't worry, I washed my hands on Tuesdays. All right, so the panko's all ready. Now we're gonna crack some eggs. That's gonna be our binder. And we're gonna get some all-purpose flour in here with some salt and pepper. Mozzarella sticks, if you guys didn't know, is string cheese. That's how you make it, string cheese. And literally, I'm just gonna take these out of the packages and I'm just gonna cut them right in half. The key to these mozzarella sticks is you can't have any gaps in the breading or the cheese is gonna gush out when it hits the oil. So each one of these mozzarella sticks, we're gonna go into the flour, completely coat it, shake off the excess, then into the egg, same thing, and then into the panko crumbs and make sure it's completely covered on all sides and both ends. Then we're not done, we're half done. We're gonna go back into the flour, back into the egg, and back into the panko. Basically doing all 3 steps 2 times to make sure these guys are nice and completely covered before they hit this hot oil. Then we're gonna line them up on this cookie sheet that's lined with parchment paper, and this will end up going in the freezer. All right guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure this is gonna work. Most recipes for mozzarella sticks call for breadcrumbs. Not panko breadcrumbs, but kind of traditional, sort of Italian style breadcrumbs. And I'm realizing now that these panko crumbs, it's a real light batter, which I love on fish. But for this, you can't have a light batter because there's gonna be gaps in it and the cheese is all gonna come out. So I don't know, it's kind of an experiment. You know, they're not gonna taste bad, but it may be a messy, just goopy, you know, I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. They look good, they smell good. I am a little worried they're gonna end up gushing out and we're gonna have a big mess. But the way you avoid this, if you do this with breadcrumbs or anyway, is we're gonna freeze these. So we're gonna put these in the freezer for at least an hour. And so that way when we fry them, the outside can get hard before that cheese starts to melt. Otherwise, they're just gonna fall right apart. So we're gonna go stick this in the freezer. I'm gonna clean up this mess I just made, and then we'll see it back here. And we're gonna go ahead and fry out some fish and this little mozzarella stick experiment. I know the fish is gonna be good. I'll show you how we're gonna do that. Just one sec. All right, guys, so the mozzarella sticks, maybe, experiment has been in the freezer for about an hour and 15 minutes. You can do it longer. You'll have to cook them a little bit longer, obviously, but over an hour should be good to go. Now it's time to cook the fish. We're gonna cook the fish first, and then afterwards, we're gonna throw those mozzarella sticks once the oil is already hot. The mozzarella sticks are gonna take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, absolute tops. So first thing, we're gonna season up our crappie fillets with this fin and feather rub from Traeger. I love this stuff. And now these are pretty thin fillets, so I'm just gonna season them on one side. That should be plenty. And I cut these guys in half, so we got nice little kind of bite-sized 2-bite nuggets. And now we're gonna cook this the exact same way we did the mozzarella sticks, pretty much. Same thing, except we're only gonna do this one time. We're not gonna double dip these guys. We don't want the fish to be battered to death. We wanna be able to taste the fish, get that flavor of the crappie, so we're just gonna go flour, eggs, panko, and into the hot oil. And you can use whatever oil you want. Vegetable oil, canola oil, even peanut oil would all be pretty good choices. So yeah, let's get started.
And, you know, the egg.
These are not gonna take long at all. It really helps to kind of have all this stuff ready to go before you start. Once you start this, you're sort of in it, and your hands are gross.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Curious to see what you think about this, like compared to the other fry.
So far, my all-time favorite is the shore lunch.
Yeah, not long at all.
That one's floating. Usually when they float, that means they're good, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so we ran out of panko before we ran out of fish, but we got most of it cooked. And these things, I just snuck a taste test. It's fantastic. Get a little taste test for Max.
It's crispy.
Real crispy.
That's good.
Yeah, you like it?
A lot of flavor.
I think there's just no way to fry crappie wrong.
Honestly, yeah. It's such a white meat. It just doesn't matter what it is as long as you just are eating it. It's good.
Now we're gonna do the cheese sticks. They've been in the freezer for about an hour and a half. The oil's real dirty now from the fish, but as Max said, that's just extra flavored. So, should still be good. Moment of truth. First mozzarella stick going down. We're just gonna do one for now and kind of see how this goes.
Get the twist and go.
Keeps going.
They're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is about done. No time at all. All those fresh herbs on there.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, looking cheesy.
think that flour's helping though, holding them in.
For sure. Yeah, that's key. If you did this with just panko, it would just be a cheesy mess. Cheese test.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. It worked. This one, honestly, it's like already cooled off quite a bit. I've been cooking the others, but it's fantastic. Pull it apart, let's see the cheese test. Yep, yep. Not bad, huh?
Not good.
Experiment
Nice and
successful.
stringy.
Oh yeah.
And with the cheese whip.
Alright, last couple are about to come off. We're ready to eat. And now the last step, the last thing that I would normally do is to kind of chop up or even just break up some fresh parsley on top of the fish, on top of these things, just for kind of appearance sake. Everything looks fancier when you got a little green sprinkled on top. But other than that, we are done. And there you have it, folks. Mozzarella sticks, homemade, and some crispy, delicious crappie. Look at this stuff. Fantastic. Yeah, start eating, man, because it's gonna get gross. White, flaky, crispy, crunchy.
Little brown nuggets of heaven.
So good. Look at that, you guys. Can you see that? Mozzarella cheese test. Passed with flying colors. Gotta eat these quick.
Mine was the stretchiest. I win.
You are winning. Phenomenal, you guys. What a fun day with Matt Scotch and Max here, catching some sweet fish on the lightning kick and learning some new ways to catch crappie and grinding out for a big old bass. Super fun day. We're gonna enjoy this cheese and fish fried feast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what kind of videos you like. If you like the catch and cooks or you want to see something else, freshwater, saltwater, let me know.
I like the catch and cooks.
Max likes the catch and cooks. I'm enjoying the catch and cook right now. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Man.
All right, thank you. Just runs away.
Vicious.
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank. It ain't that long till I'm back at the pond. I'm pulling up the truck down at the dock. It's time to do some cruising.